Winter is coming to an end, and what better episode to review than Winter Wrap-Up? What's that, viewer that is obviously not asking this question? Why am I reviewing an episode all the way back from Season 1? Well, the answer is simple. So the episode opens up with Twilight waking up at like 1 in the morning or something to get her gear on to get ready to wrap up winter. Oh, and she wakes up Spike, who is having a dream about his parents who are not around. Would have been nice to see that dream, but Twilight just had to wake him up, of course. Because of this, Spike will be a jerk throughout the entire episode. And I am not even kidding. So Twilight wakes up again and catches up with the other ponies. They've already assembled into 3 teams, each with a subdivision. However, Twilight doesn't have a team she's a part of since she is late to the gathering, somehow, even though she's very punctual. Have a problem that you can easily solve if you just ask a very common question? Well then, just sing it out. Even if we're only 3 minutes into the episode. But the song is great. Once the song is over, Twilight goes around and asks if she could help random people. She can't help Dash since this is back when Twilight was a unicorn, not an alicorn, so she doesn't have wings. You're grounded, Twilight Sparkle. She claims to be bad at waking up animals, despite waking a bunch of animals up, all on complete accident. Man, doesn't even need to try to wake up the animals. How do you feel about that, Fluttershy? And then I guess she just dislikes helping animals later, even though she attempts to help Rarity by building a bird's nest, which is closer to an actual bird's nest, but not in Equestria. Do birds even know how to build a nest? Does the heat from the sun not melt any snow? Questions without answers. Just like how does Pinkie know how to skate despite living on a rock farm away from everyone else? Either way, Twilight is completely useless. But she has one last friend to help out. Applejack. And like I said, Spike throughout the entire episode was a jerk, but also has been trying to push Twilight to break tradition and use magic to wrap up winter faster. I mean, smart idea, but magic, tradition, doesn't work out like that. After all her failed attempts at using non-magic and her inability to push a plow, she uses magic to bring it to life. Of course. However, it goes out of control and actually saves a bunch of stallions from crashing into each other, and crashes into Applejack and Spike. Applejack tells Twilight off for using magic, and Twilight runs off and cries, only to hide out in a bush. Through her magical gift of eavesdropping, she learns of the problems Ponyville has with winter wrap-up. Dash can't move the clouds, or else she'll risk flooding the animal homes, but then the seeds can't be planted for harvesting. Then, one Earth Pony somehow loses the grass seeds, while the Pegasus heads north for the southern birds. Apparently this is her second time doing it. Twilight steps up, and through a montage, helps them wrap up winter on time. Oh, so this is where Bejeweled was replaced. So, how does this episode hold up to the current ones? I love it. Sure, I still mock and look too deeply into it, but I enjoy the old episodes. Especially since a lot of the current ones aren't that good, in my opinion. The song was fantastic and memorable, the plot was full of some holes, but what story isn't? But this is the kind of episode I needed, to get reminded of how far the show has progressed. Oh, and there's also still some Spike humor with him almost drowning because he was asleep. Man, Ponyville was a bunch of jerks. Overall, it's a 6 out of 10, mainly because of the song. I mean, that winter wrap-up really carried the episode of the same name. I mean, that song is really great, and they even sort of reference that later in Season 4 with Discord singing it, and then in Bats when Pinkie does her Fruit Bat Roundup thing. And this episode will also continue to be a fun and funny episode, no matter what. Unless we get a, winter wrap-up 2... or something, I don't know. Does the universe hate me for liking an old episode or something? What the? Huh. Looks like I've got to get a hold of these powers. I guess now will be that time?